some historic best of 3. Still grinding up through Platinum in April. The meta isn't quite as friendly as it has been in previous months. Trying out a Phyrexian Revoker deck here. All right, let's see what we're up against. So we're on the play versus Boson de Hicks. I like that name. I don't think we've played them before, so let's check out. We're going to be on the play. And we're playing a Luris deck. All right, so it could be a few different things. All right, this is a reasonable keep, not a lot of disruption, but a decent start. So we're going to keep that and see what's up. All right, so we're happy with the number of lands we have, so we're going to Cavern of Souls first. Play out that Shoreline Scout and use it to convert the Breeding Pool to a trop. Save us a couple of life on a future turn. If we don't draw a 2-drop next turn, we're going to play the Glasspool Mimic as a tapped land. It costs us 1 extra damage, but puts us on curve for Collected Company. All right, so a Humans or a Death and Taxes type deck, something along those lines. Maybe Boros Convoke, but I don't think I've seen Stepmom in Boros Convoke before. We'll swing in. We'd love to make this trade and see what comes up next. Stepmom is pretty disruptive for our deck if they have the right kind of card. A second one isn't the biggest deal, but it depends on what else they've got. 2 1-drops, though. Oh, it's an enchantments deck. All right. So we are going to play the Rege, and there's no sense in sacking a Shoreline Scout to push in 3 damage. So we're going to hold up. Next turn, we might bounce one of the Stepmoms in response to their activation, or we might Coco. It depends on what they're going to do here. I'm hoping they go another enchantment on this one here that they're looking at, and that gives us a chance to use Otawara after baiting a protection trigger. If we get the chance to just tap it, we might do that too. It depends on what we draw and whether or not they're going to attack. I assume he's going to attack here. There's no reason not to with lifelink. Interesting. Sorcery speed protection, which probably means he has some sort of 1-drop white spell. Oh, he knocked off his own Staggering Insight. That's a wonderful little boost for us. All right, we will cast the Cenote Scout, use it to untap our Cavern of Souls. We're going to take a bit of a gamble here, but we get to look at the top of our deck. Oh, knowing there's a Glasspool Mimic here makes our mind up, so that can copy the Rege. So we're just going to swing in, and if he decides to block the 2/2, he's going to lose here. He's probably not going to do that, though. All right, so that with his error gives us a nice setup for this turn. Let's see what he plays. We've got options to try and hit a Trickster or a Tishana's Tidebinder. Tishana's is much better against Stepmom, so we're going to let Light Pause resolve here, or we're going to let Light Pause trigger, and then see if we can hit it. Our worst case is we have a second Rege off that Glasspool Mimic. Oh, so we've got options here. We can have 3 Regeries in play, which gives us a ton of power, but his blockers mess us up. We can have a Rege and a Sphelion. Doesn't put us in any better position. I think we want the tappers, so we're going to pick the Mimic and the Rege, and just get to the point where our board is bigger than his. If he gets another lifelink aura, we're in trouble. If we hit a Master of the Pearl Trident, we're in great shape because of that Hallowed Fountain. We get to swing in for as many as we want. We have the Otawara we can use. Oh, Hexcatcher will do. So we are just going to tap all 3 things with the Hexcatcher, and this should get us there. Yeah. All right, that's game 1 against Enchantments. He made a pretty big error there. I think he was ahead until he did that. Now, we've pulled out a lot of our enchantment hate because we're not seeing that many enchantment decks at the moment. But we have lots of options. We're going to bring in a Tidebinder because we almost always bring in a Tidebinder. Not really worried about Graveyard here. Tailswipe I don't like bringing in against Auras decks because they tend to get out of range too fast. So we're just going to bring in some Eaten by Piranhas because that is an effective card against this play. Now the questions for other removal are, do we bring in the Mind Singer or do we bring in Sleep? Sleep is great if we get to 4 mana, but I don't really think we're worried about that. If we get to 4 mana, either they're winning already or we are. So I'm not going to bring Sleep in the matchup. Mind Singer, I think I might bring it on the play to try and catch a 2-drop before they manage to start enchanting it, but it would be too risky on the draw to hit late when all of their creatures have too much power. All right, so let's drop out the Silvergill Adepts and what? Commanda's evasive. We want him. Svalian can block the big dudes. Master of the Pearl Trident, he has islands. Yeah, we're going to drop 2 Shoreline Scouts here, and that's our sideboard plan. See how we can do in game 2. Being on the play definitely helped us out in game 1. Really depends on what his draw looks like. We're looking for some disruption, but with some pressure. So we're looking for a pretty good hand here. Lots of 3-drops, but with 2 Eaten by Piranhas that I can cast, that's not a bad start. So we're going to keep this and see what we can make happen. Esper Sentinel's not bad for us as a start, so we'll play Storm Giants. We're really needing to draw into that 3rd and 4th land, so we're either hoping for lands themselves or explore creatures. All right, Light Pause. Let's double check here. Enter auras the battlefield when an aura enters the battlefield under your control, if you cast it. All right, so I can Eaten by Piranha's Light Pause. He's going to draw a card off of Esper Sentinel, but one of the main engines of the deck is shut down. And we drew our 3rd land. So the RNG is being nice to us today. All right, he's going to keep pumping Light Pause, which implies to me that he's got a way to deal with that Eaten by Piranhas. Or he didn't know how it worked, and he thought Light Pause would still trigger. Yeah, there we go. You should have done that in a different order. All right, that helps me dig towards the land, which is excellent news. Puts a creature on the board to replace that. And we can Sentinel's Eyes it again, or sorry, not Sentinel's Eyes. We can Eaten by Piranhas it again next turn, if that's going to be good. I think we actually want to hold up for Tidebinder here, but him working out from under that Piranhas is going to be trouble for us. It's going to take 5. It's not lifelink. It's not the end of the world. Oh, there's our 4th land. And with the right sequencing, we can play up to 4. Okay, so we're going to count on being able to Tidebinder the Light Pause trigger that he is inevitably going to get this turn. Nice thing here is that does not trigger Esper Sentinel. All right, he's coming in. We're just going to take 4. That's not the end of the world for us. See what he's got. I assume he has some sort of protection spell at instant speed here. And hopefully us not doing anything there baits him into using it. He's being cautious, hasn't played an island yet. All right, so we need to get another body on the board, something that can be copied by a Glasspool Mimic. So we're going to play that Tishana's Tidebinder for nothing but the flash value. He's going to probably feel pretty smart there, but we're going to hold up Coco and pass the turn again. What has he got for permanence? He doesn't have a lot of permanence for that Lurrus. And that's a great target for Eaten by Piranhas if we can. All right, Spirit Dancer. Oh, if he's got a lot of creatures, we might be in good shape. His is not the most threatening set of auras that has ever been played. All right, he's playing Lurrus. And he's got nothing to cast off of it. Let's see if he comes in. No, all right, so let's Coco and get some threats out there. So Pearl Trident and Hexcatcher gives us some options, gets our size up. Oh, that's great. So this allows us to play an Eaten by Piranhas on his Lurrus so that he can't recur. We're going to let him draw off of this because we really want to play a Cometa. Now we've got our card drawing engine online, and we can start getting in with Tidebinder. I will take any of these trades. In hindsight, if he was going to block with Lurrus, maybe we should have considered Eaten by Piranhas after blocks. Might have been able to get him to block with the Esper Sentinel and still get value by hitting Lurrus with the Eaten by Piranhas there. All right. Tap some Merfolk, draw some cards. Another land. We want to stop hitting lands at this point. Glasspool Mimic is not bad. See what he does with another attack with that Tidebinder that's not holding anybody down. All right, he's going to take it. So I have a couple of options here. I could play that Glasspool Mimic and copy a Lord, but I think for now I'm going to hold up one of my Mutavaults and get a Sphelion out. Sphelion gives us nice blocking options, and we now have the option to pump the team with Cometa and use the +1/+1 counters instead of drawing. What we're really worried about here is him having an explosive turn where he is able to give his creature flying or unblockable or something along those lines. It's definitely in the range that he could get up to an 11x. Our best case scenario is he makes an error and plays an island, and we just kill him next turn. It's an interesting choice to tap the Cometa and not the Sphelion. It's all right with us at this point. And he played an island. All right. So we're going to draw some more cards here. Or are we just going to pump the team? I think we're going to pump the team and then plan to copy the Master of the Pearl Trident next turn. So let's make Mutavault a Merfolk. And then we'll use Commander's ability, tap everybody, make everybody a little bigger. Play our Glasspool Mimic. Copy the Pearl Trident. We've got Eaten by Piranhas as a backup, and everybody in. Really only worried about Fragment Reality here, but so this player made a couple of errors playing against us, probably hasn't played against Merfolk very often, but gave us a decently easy win. It's always nice when enchantment decks are running blue. It gives us that extra advantage with Island Walk and makes our life a little bit easier.